So this is, let me interrupt you.
Yeah.
This is what we talk about all the time, and I tell Billy and anybody who listens on the podcast is that the thing that people who have made money understand is that there are ways of getting money that they don't understand. That what rich people understand is how money works, how the game is played, right? In terms of where there's options. And the reality is that the corner bank, 9 times out of 10, I think, and you'll probably can correct me if I'm wrong, maybe 8 times out of 10, you ain't getting your first business loan out of a corner bank.
No.
Right?
No. And in fact, a lot of people think the first business loan is, I heard this thing called the SBA. I'm going to go, they'll do startup financing for me, right? Mm-hmm. That's when they come. And I'm here to tell you, no, the corner bank's definitely not going to do it. And if the corner bank has an SBA group that does small business lending, up to $5 million, $250,000 to $5 million, that SBA group's not going to finance your startup,
right?
As well,
right?
I mean, so then what do you do? And that's a whole discussion to have about how do people start their business?
How do you come up with the money?
Well, I can remember when I met you, you had already been in business,
right? And
you're going, okay, I'm going to grow. I need some money to grow. And a lot of people think you need money for real estate or you need money to buy a piece of machinery. Sometimes you need money to pay payroll because you're hiring 10 new people.
Right.
Or you're hiring drivers. And you're not going to get paid from your routes until 60 days or 30 days.
And this is why you have lines of credit, because you have to pay your employees prior to you recovering the money from your customers.
Right. And
because they'll be on 30 or 40 or 5 or 60-day terms.
And generally, if you're growing, that line of credit really shouldn't be a line of credit. It should be a term loan.
Yeah, right.
Like, you're never going to lower your receivables. You're never going to lower your inventory because you're growing. Your inventory and your receivables might be turning. You collect your receivables and you sell your inventory and then get new inventory. Those turn times are probably good, but the level is now, I used to have 50,000 accounts receivable. Now I have 220,000.
Right.
Well, that 220 is never going away. It's on because you're growing. And so I think that if I recall right, you were in a situation where you were growing.
That's exactly right.
And we had to do I don't want to say dollar amounts, but we had to do a permanent working capital term loan.
That's right.
And
which means I just paid it off over X number of years, as opposed to a line of credit that you would go into
normally
every month and pay it back.
Yeah, because your profits aren't going to catch up to your growth for a period of time. So instead of having to come up with, $50,000 every 2 weeks to make payroll, how about I just lend you a couple $100,000? You pay me back over the next 10 years. So now when the cash comes in, you're not just throwing it right back out.
Right. And that is what I think most people assume is that if you're profitable, what I had to learn the hard way is that if you're profitable, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're generating cash.
Correct.
In fact, the more revenue I had and the more profit I made, the less money I had.
Yes.
The less cash. There's a big difference between making money and having cash. That's why we hear cash flow is king.
Yes.
I'm sure you've seen lots of profitable companies that have no money.
Correct.
I know I've been there many, many, many times because you're growing so fast that you just can't generate enough cash to pay the bills. Yeah. It seems, and I had to figure that out. I had no idea when I started. I just fucking figured if I sold everything as quick as I could, right? Bring all the business in that I could find, that there'd be cash for that.